When I started this channel, I never thought that I'd be talking about my mental health at all. I was always, in a way, ashamed and embarrassed having mental health problems because people around me labeled them as issues and things that were a problem for them. And so I didn't want to talk about it. And I have made attempts on my own life in the past. And I know it's impacted people around me very badly. And it's hurt them. And for that, I'm sorry. It's never been about them. It's been about me and how I try to cope with being allergic to so many medications, all of them for that matter. No doctor will let me try anything else at this point. Because those meds just make the intent to want to end myself stronger. I love life, but I hate it so much at the same time. There's so much good, but so much bad. Of course, there has to be balance, I understand that, but there's just been so many things that have happened and progressed over time, like my illnesses. And I talk about people leaving. And if you have chronic illness, you... sorry. You understand what it's like. Because people say that they'll stay. And they say that they'll be there for you. And when you don't get better, the expectation for you to get better in this other person, whether it's a friend, a family member, a spouse, starts to outweigh what's actually going on. And because you don't get better, that weighs on them. And because that weighs on them, it turns into burnout behavior. And burnout behavior leads to abuse. And as someone who's had that happen in numerous situations, not just romantic ones, I think talking about all of the aspects of chronic illness are vital. Our mental health, our physical health, and the relationships that we have, because all of those things are impacted when you live with sorry, all of the stuff that we live with. And this dang cough is super annoying. Kind of came out of nowhere, but showed up when the lump showed up, so hopefully it's nothing bad. Life isn't easy, and I think because of all of these cartoons that we're brought up on with happy endings and getting married and having babies and the white picket fence and all of this kind of stuff, there's this air of illusion that is impregnated in our minds that we're to think that life is going to turn out that way, that there's a happy ending and that everything always works out for the better. And I'm not a fatalist, but I'm a realist, and at the end of the day, I know that there's no ending like that. You may find your person and have your children and have your house, but one of you may get sick, and things may change in your family dynamic because of that. Or maybe you'll find your person and you'll find a place, and one of you will get sick and your dynamic will change there. Or a parent will get sick, or one of your children will get sick. The thing is, life isn't linear, and when we're brought up to think that it is this straight line from being born to going to school to graduating to getting a job to finding the love of your life to having a home and then retiring together and having grandkids and all of this stuff, life doesn't work like that. It doesn't. I'll use my life as an example. I didn't go to university until now. I dropped out of high school. I went back and got my diploma as an adult. I went and I did the classes to get my diploma. And that was hard, but I did it because I wanted to be a doctor. And then I got sick. And so instead of being a doctor, I became a patient. A patient that had to advocate for themselves all of the time. And I've lost friends, and I've lost family. I've lost relationships. There is a immense sense of loss that comes along with chronic illness, and I understand people wanting to be positive and optimistic at the beginning when they're first diagnosed, and I do believe that there are people out there that are capable of helping and being alongside someone who is chronically ill, because I've seen it for others. It hasn't happened for me, but I've seen it for others. So I know that it exists. But there has to be a give and take, and there has to be time and reprieve for someone who is in a relationship with someone who's chronically ill, so that they can go on a vacation by themselves, or they can, take a weekend to themselves, do something for themselves, so they're not constantly focusing on the person who's sick. Because when they do that, when anyone does that, it burns them out. If I sit here and focus on every aspect of my health every single day, it's going to burn me out, make me depressed, and make me hate my life. So why would I do that? Why? So instead, I decided I'm going to go to school. I'm going to work on things that I want to work on. I'm going to try to get degrees, and it doesn't matter how long it takes me. At least it's giving me something to do when I wake up. Because some people on the outside of my situation have said to me that it must be nice to be home all the time, and it's fucking not, by the way. It sucks. And when you're in a situation like mine, people aren't banging down the door to come visit you. So being home all the time and doing nothing is just going to leave you alone in your thoughts. And leaving you alone in your thoughts can be a dangerous thing. So that's why I started doing online school. Because it's getting me out of my head. It's making me have to read books. It's making me have to watch videos, have to take tests, have to write papers. And maybe that's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. But finding something for yourself to do is vital to getting you out of that mucky guck of your head. And as someone who's studying psychology, who wants to help other people, we have to change what we're doing in order to change our thinking. If we just keep doing everything the same, nothing ever changes. We must look inside of ourselves. What brings us joy? What brings us happiness? And try to focus on those things, even for a minute moment in the day. And it can potentially change the way we think and feel about ourselves. That's something I learned in my abused women's group that I went to. Something I think I need to go back to again, as long as they've got it online. And then ideally get myself out of my head for a while, help me find my self-worth again. Because when you're abused by anyone, you start to question your own worth. You wonder if you're worthy of anything because someone's treated you so poorly for so long. But that's not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. Their inability to cope, their inability to treat another human with respect, their lack of control over their emotions, where they think they have control, but they actually are lacking control, because if they are treating someone shitty, that's a lack of control. I just want to make a difference. That's really all I want to do. And I really think the only way I can do that is through the internet, because I can't go and talk to big auditoriums of people as much as I would like to be able to do that. There's too many risk factors for me in a situation like that. Unless there was like a glass case I could step into and take my mask off and have like a bunch of air purifiers in there and be heavily medicated or something. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for listening to me talk. And mental health is important. Mental health, physical health. and our relationships. Everything is interconnected when we're chronically ill. Take good care of yourself. I hope to see you again next time. Bye.